Welcome to Consultier Inc. and Interlink IQ. To conduct a document review utilizing the cold storage, freezing, and chilling of foods program under the SQF Module 11.6.2, first check if the document title matches the uploaded file name on the dashboard. In this instance, we do have the same titles as the cold storage, freezing, and chilling of foods program. Next, both must have the same document code. For this example, we do have 11.6.2P0. Since this is a template, we indicate the PCQI as the account initials. However, we can customize the code based on the company's initials. For the page number, we use the page XFY format. Ensure that it reflects the current page position and the total page number of the document. Then insert the company logo here, together with the company name, the company address, and enter the designated department. For the originated by section, it can be the food safety, quality assurance, or the quality control personnel of the company. The originator ensures the implementation of the quality management and document control system. Enter the name of the originator, affix the signature, input the position title, and the date originated. For the reviewed by section, it can be the personnel assigned in the quality management department who reviews the drafted document or its revision for accuracy and implementation. Enter the name of the reviewer, affix the signature, input the position title, and the date reviewed. For the approved by section, it must be the person in the C-level management who has approval authority. Enter the name of the approver, affix the signature, input the position title, and the date approved. The revision date is the same as the date originated or drafted by the author. For the effective date, it is the date the document was signed and approved. The publication date is when the document is published for distribution and initiated personnel training. The implementation date is when the document is distributed and personnel training is completed. For the supersedes, put original for the initial issuance of the document. For any revisions, reflect the initial revision date before the current revision. Please be reminded that this section must be properly filled out to be compliant. Now we will focus on the components of the program. First is purpose. The purpose is the implementation of any certification standard or compliance with a regulatory requirement. For this program, it is for implementation with the SQF Module 11 Edition 9 for food manufacturing under Class 11.6.2. First, to implement SQF 11.6.2.1, the site shall provide confirmation of the effective operational performance of freezing, chilling, and cold storage facilities. Chillers, blast freezers, and cold storage rooms shall be designed and constructed to allow for the hygienic and efficient refrigeration of food and be easily accessible for inspection and cleaning. Second, to implement 11.6.2.2, sufficient refrigeration capacity shall be available to chill, freeze, store chilled, or store frozen the maximum anticipated throughput of product with allowance for periodic cleaning of refrigerated areas. Third, to implement 11.6.2.3, the site shall have a written procedure for monitoring temperatures, including the frequency of checks and corrective actions if the temperature is out of specification. Freezing, chilling, and cold storage rooms shall be fitted with temperature monitoring equipment that is located to monitor the warmest part of the room and be fitted with a temperature measurement device that is easily readable and accessible. Records shall be kept of frozen, cold, and chilled storage room temperatures. And fourth, to implement 11.6.2.4, discharge from defrost and condensate lines shall be controlled and discharged into the drainage system. The second component of the program is scope. The scope of the program is based on the purpose and serves as a guide in defining and describing the layout of the procedure. It includes freezing and cold storage equipment, refrigeration equipment, methods, and validation and verification. Third is policy. The policies are the rules set by the company as their implementation guide. First, freezing and cold storage apply to sub-zero temperatures and storage of the product at that temperature for preservation. Ideally, frozen food is stored at less than 18 degrees Celsius or 0 degree Fahrenheit. Second, chilling refers to the process of reducing the temperature of food to 0 to 5 degrees Celsius or 32 to 40 degrees Fahrenheit and storing it within the temperature range to minimize pathogen growth and extend shelf life. And third, in both cases, the equipment required to chill, freeze, or store product must be effective and cater to maximum throughput. The fourth component of the program is procedure. The procedure is the step-by-step process and the actual implementation of the policy. First under procedure is freezing and cold storage equipment. Have the capacity to maintain a product temperature below -15 degrees Celsius or 5 degrees Fahrenheit and maintain during loading and unloading. A description of the refrigeration capacity is included in the site plan. Second, refrigeration equipment. Have the capacity to maintain an ambient temperature at or below 5 degrees Celsius or 40 degrees Fahrenheit, except when loading or unloading product from the cooler, unless other temperatures are prescribed by legislation. During these operations, the ambient temperature returns to 5 degrees Celsius or 40 degrees Fahrenheit within a short time after access doors are closed. Verification is demonstrated through historical temperature recordings. Refrigeration facilities can reduce temperatures of product at rates suitable to maintain food safety and/or quality, or as prescribed by legislation, appropriate to the commodities being processed. Next is methods. Documentation of floor materials is included in the site plan or description of the plant or processing area. A written SOP addresses timely and effective water removal or excessive ice buildup. Dense waterproof concrete is generally used for flooring and needs to be smooth and graded to reduce water accumulation. The tops of refrigerated rooms are covered with rodent-proof material. Inaccessible cavities are sealed to prevent the access of rodents and other pests. Storage racks and shelving are constructed of non-corrosive material and easily cleanable. The product on these racks or shelves is at least 30 centimeters from walls and 150 millimeters off the floor to prevent contamination and allow for adequate air circulation around the product, which we refer to 11.6.1. Condensation from cooling equipment is piped to the facility drainage system or to the exterior of the building in a manner that does not create pools or any standing water. When defrosting refrigeration units, it is necessary that the timing of the defrosting be such that it does not pose a threat to the sanitary conditions of the area or product. Fourth under procedure is validation and verification. Monitoring and validation of the cooler temperature are done following the site's food safety plan or similar document. Cooling or storage temperatures are verified and validated as prescribed by legislation. Manual monitoring of cold storage rooms on a predetermined frequency is acceptable, provided there is a justification for the frequency, and documentation is kept on file with corrective actions, if applicable. Fifth is responsibility. The responsibility of the person is indicated. It covers what to perform to comply with the procedure or the policy. For all personnel, shall adhere to this policy. For the supervisors or department heads and team leaders, visually inspect areas for compliance with this policy. Oversee compliance of procedure. Ensure personnel is trained on this policy and procedures. And monitor and take corrective action to ensure compliance with this policy. For the quality control personnel, validate training and adherence to policy and procedure. And monitor and document nonconformance observation is also known as discrepancy using corrective action preventive action or the CAPA report. And for the compliance department, document control, records, and archive. Sixth is corrective action. The corrective action is the process of taking appropriate steps to eliminate causes of nonconformities or other undesirable situations. Train all personnel on this policy and reference SSOPs. And noncompliance will require retraining or dismissal from job duties or termination of employment. 7th, review quality. The review section serves as guidelines for conducting the annual or periodic review. Cold storage, freezing, chilling procedures SOPs, and temperature validation procedures are reviewed for the initial desk audit. Subsequently, they are audited as part of each site audit through observation, review of records, and interviews with refrigeration mechanics and operating personnel. Evidence includes SOPs exist for chilling, freezing, and cold storage. SOPs exist for validation of chilled and frozen temperatures and times. The site can confirm the effective operation of the chillers or freezers. Site can confirm the effective operation of the chilled and cold storage rooms. Cold storage rooms are properly designed and constructed. Cold storage rooms are easily cleaned. Cold storage areas are easily accessible for inspection. There is adequate refrigeration capacity. There is adequate freezer capacity. There is no condensation in the cold storage area. There is no frost or ice built up in the cold storage area. Defrost water is discharged appropriately. Temperature monitoring is adequate. And temperature records are retained. 8th is reference documents. The reference documents are the set of documents used to implement and monitor a program, policy, or procedure. It includes loading, transport, and unloading practices, and corrective and preventive action report. 9th, references. The reference section is composed of guides utilized to implement the program. Examples are the certification guide, regulations, and other widely accepted scientific journals, research, and the like. It must comply with the standard format citation, which can be based on either MLA, APA, or Chicago style, and update the access date. Lastly, history. The history section is where we can update the program if there are any changes or revisions made in the document. If there is a revision, enter the revision number, followed by the revision date, the description of the change made, the name of the author or the originator, and the title or department of the author or the originator. Thank you for participating in this document review. Content presented are for training purposes only and are based on the interpretation of standards and best practices and must be customized for your intended use. To fully customize your programs, policies, procedures, forms for records, and lessons for training, you may contact Interlink IQ or Consultier Inc. at services@interlinkiq.com or simply call 202-982-3002. For free access, visit interlinkiq.com.